back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much guys for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you. God bless you. Please, if you are new to our YouTube channel and you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell so as to get notified anytime we drop new video. So today's tutorial will be on how to make a peg skirt. A peg skirt is also known as a pencil skirt, just like the one you are seeing on the screen right now. So let's get down to business. The first thing I will do here is to determine my scale block. And how do I go about that? I'll divide the widest part of my measurement into two. The widest part of my measurement is my hip. My hip is 42. 42 divided by 2 will give me 21. I'll just add 1 inch to it and measure it straight down. And connect with my straight ruler. Okay, so after that, the next thing is to divide the block into two. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So I'll just mark that one too, straight down. Then also connects with my straight ruler. And the next thing is to choose my front and back. Which one to be my front and which one to be my back. You can choose any of the block to be your front and back, but I'll choose this one to be my front and this one to be my back. So the next thing I will do is to measure my waist to hip. My waist to hip is 8 inches. It depends, it varies from 7 to 9, but as for me, mine is 8 inches. You also connect with a straight ruler like this. Can you see? So the next thing is to input my waist measurement. The waist measurement I'm working with is 8.5, but I'll add 1 inch to it. That's my dad's allowance. Then I'll repeat the same thing for the back, 8.5, then plus my 1 inch for that. Can you see? Then on the hip I'm working with is 42. 42 divided by 4, that's giving me 10.5. But mind you, when we're trying to construct our scale block, I added 1 inch to my hip measurement. So I will just exhaust this, yes. Because while sewing, I'm still going to remeasure. That's what I call fitting. Next thing to do now is to connect to the hip from my waist, straight down to the hip, and the same thing to this side, connect straight down. Can you see? So on the M line, you just measure the length of your skirts and connect it straight like that. Can you see? So it's a peg skirt. So on the M line, we are going to shape it in. So just measure what you have here. All that you have here. I have 11 inches here. So 11 inches here. On the M line, I'm going to minus some inches. So how pencil you want your skirt to be depends. But as for me, I will just minus 1 inch. So that means on the M line, I will measure 10 inches. Then for the back, there is one thing we call bum illusion. So at this back here, we measured we minus 1 inch here. So for the back, we are going to split the 1 inch into 2. That means at this center back here, you come in, you measure ½ inch. Then at this side too, you go in ½ inch. Then from this half inch to the other half inch, you have your 10 inches. So that why are we doing this for the back? So that the back can sit well on our bum and give us a bum illusion. So now this half inch now, I'm going to connect it straight to this hip. So let me just do that with my long ruler. You just connect from this half inch. Can you see? Straight down to the hip. That's all. Then the other one, this side, this center, this side back, you connect it straight to the hip also here. Can you see? Then for the front, we just minus the 1 inch straight. So you connect straight to the hip. Can you see how beautiful our peg skirt is? So the next thing for us to do now is to input our darts. And how do you go about that? Just measure all that you have on your waist here. I have 9.5. 9.5 divided by 2 give me 4.75. Come here and measure the 4.75. Then for the dart length for the back, on the hip line, just go up by 1 inch or 2 inches. Then for the front, for the dart leg, just go up by 3 inches. So invariably, the dart leg for the back is always longer than the dart leg for the front. So let me just repeat my 4.75 here on the hip so that I can get a straight line. And I will just connect it like that. Can you see? Then my dart intake, remember I added 1 inch, so my dart intake is half inch. So for the back, I will just like to go up by let me just do 2 inches. Yes, go up by 2 inches, and I'll connect my dart leg to it like this. Wow, so simple. Then now let's repeat the same thing for the front. Our dart leg here was 4.75. Then repeat the same 4.75 on the hip here so as to get a straight line. Then I will connect with my straight ruler like this. Then my dart leg half inch at the side. Then for the front, remember I said the back dart leg is always longer than the front. So yeah, we came up. Well, I came up by 2 inches. Then let me just do 3 inches here. Can you see? So there's another thing. So that our skirts will not have all these smile lines at the front. So at this front here, at the waist here, for the front, center front, just come down by 1 inch. Then say you can use a curve or a straight line. It doesn't matter. And now we are connecting this 1 inch here straight to this our dart here. But before we do that, we are going to raise this up by half inch. All what we are doing here is just to make our peg skirt sit perfectly. Can you see? I've raised it up by half inch. So I'm connecting this 1 inch to this half inch here. You can do that with a curve or a straight ruler. Let me just use my curve here. Can you see? But don't let it to be too curvy. You can use a straight ruler, like I said, but I will just use my curve since I have one. Can you see? Then for the back, here too, you raise it up here by half inch. But for the back, we are not coming down by any 1 inch. You just, this half inch, you raise up, you just connect it to the first dart leg here. Can you see? All these will make our peg skirt sit well on our body. So now, can you see now? So now let's input our zipper allowance. We are true. So your zipper allowance can be 1 inch, half inch. Let me just use 1 inch. Then when you get here, you have to follow. Our zipper allowance is not straight. You have to follow this half-inch line for the zipper allowance. If your back skirt, I mean the back one is straight, no, it won't have fitting. Can you see? Let me just use my long ruler here. Yeah. So I'll just use this small one here. Can you see? So now this is our zipper allowance for the back. Yes. So guys, we are through. That is how simple it is. So the next thing for me to do now is to cut out. Let me just get my paper, scissors, and cut it out. So guys, before I cut out, this hip here, you just blend any sharp edge. You don't want any sharp edge at the hip. Just blend it with your curved ruler. Can you see? Yes, we are good to go. Please always label your pattern. This is our front skirt, and this is the back skirt. So while transferring to fabric for the side, you can add any allowances of your choice, but as for me, I do 1.5. Then at the hem, you can add 2 inches. You are not adding anything to zipper allowance because we've already added our zipper allowance of a 1/2 inch, or 1 inch rather. Then at the waistline here, you can add 0.5. Then by the side here, 1.5. Then this center front, cut on fold. Then 2 inches. Then 0.5. Okay, the next thing. Let me just say something. In case you want bands, yes. In case you want your own skirt to have bands, what you will just do is that these let's start for the front now. These are our darts here. Just fold it and tape it down with paper tape. Then you now measure the band you want. But as for me, I think 1.5 is just fine. Let's just do 1.5. You can do 2 inches, but I just want 1.5. Can you see? And for next, then you repeat the same thing. You repeat the same thing for the back. You fold in the darts. Just fold it carefully. Can you see? And tape it down. After taping, then you measure your 1.5. Remember that it was 1.5 that we did for the front, so this is the back. You still go ahead and measure the same 1.5. Then you come in with your curve like this and connect. Yes, can you see? So after this, you now bring your scissors and cut out. Then place on fabric and add 1/2 inch for joining. Then let me now show us another way to get our band. This is the first way. You fold out, you measure your 1.5, you cut out, you do the same thing for the front also. Then let me now show us another method. That's method 1. The second method is, let's start with the back. You come with a plain paper, then you place it like this, then you tape down. Mind you, for this second method, you don't need to fold your darts. Just tape down like this. Place on a plain paper, fold down. Now measure darts. I would like to use 2 inches for my darts here. This. Can you see? Then this line too, you try to trace it out. Something like this. I don't want to block our view. Something like this, can you see? Then we can now cut out. But before we cut out, try to measure back the zipper allowance here, so that you can know this side is for the zipper allowance on the band. Something like this. Wow, so beautiful. Just try to demarcate this, like this is the zipper allowance. Then this is the side back. So while cutting on the fabric, we are cutting 2. Let me just repeat for the front before I cut out, so that I can show us together. Let me just cut out. Back. So that's why it's good to label. This one is for the back and this one is for the front. So the next thing for us to do now is to fold our darts. I don't want to block our view, so fold our darts. We must fold our darts on the band. Can you see? And take down. The same thing too. Can you see? And take down. So, you know, on our fabric, after holding down our darts, can you see? Then the same thing too. After we hold the dart for the front, can you see? So, while cutting on the fabric, while transferring on the fabric, you had 0.5 inch there. We also need 0.5 inch here to join it to this side. Then for the upper part too, to turn it 0.5. Then the center front of this band, of the front band, is cut on fold, because we are cutting the skirt to unfold. Then for the back too, the side back, remember we're adding 1.5, so this also add 1.5. Then the center. So for this band, for the back, we are cutting 2 pieces. Also for this skirt, 2 pieces. So can you see how beautiful our skirt is? So the next thing for me to do now is to transfer these beautiful pieces to my fabric. I'll bring my fabric now and then we'll transfer. Okay guys, I've placed my pattern on my fabric, can you see? So what I'm going to do next is to add all my seam allowances, all one, both for the front and the back, also my bands. I placed my pattern paper, I placed my fabric rather into 2. So I'll just add all my seam allowances round now and I'll show us when I am through. Transferred to my fabric. For the back, you cut 2 pieces, then try to mark on the wrong side, like this, wrong side. Do the same thing for this side too, for the front too. So for the front is on fold, you can see. Then for the band, let me emphasize more on the band. The bands is on fold, you can see it's on fold. Then I cut out 2 pieces, one serve as the fabric and the other one will serve as a lining. So for the back band, it's 4 pieces, 2 for the fabric and then 2 will stand for the lining. So you can also interface. If you interface, it will be fine. You can interface and it will give your band structure. So what I'm just going to do here is to just notch my darts so that when I'm sewing, I will know where my dart is. Something like this. Then try to notch your hip too, not the zipper allowance. You can also notch. I added 2 inches to the end. So what I will do next is to repeat the same thing for the lining. I'll cut out exactly what I have here for the lining. Then we will now start sewing. Can you see the outcome of our bed skirts? Can you see how lovely it is? Let me turn so that you can see the back. Can you see the back? Can you see the bump illusion? So thank you guys. Please make yours and tag us on our Facebook page at Abiola Apparel and also on our Instagram at Abiola Apparel. Bye.